Hi, Carlene.
Hi, Alma.
It's been a minute.
I can't believe it's been so long.
I know. Well, longer than we actually...
We've never gone that long.
Yeah, but I think we needed it. I needed it.
Oh, I needed some time to get my shit together.
Yeah, because I've had so much here. You also had stuff happen.
And I can finally tell everybody that I'm going to be a grandma.
Yay!
It was killing me holding it in.
Was it?
Oh my God, I'm so excited, yes. And I kept waiting and waiting, and I went over to their house so we could do the photos. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, oh, we got to wait for Brian, my ex-husband, to do whatever he was doing because they're really cute. And I was like, oh, God, I got to wait longer. But then one of my friends since grade school texted me, and she was like, oh my gosh, congratulations. They posted it. I don't have to hold it in anymore.
Oh my God. So that's exciting. Hilarious because we were just talking about it like the night before, like when we were texting about it. Yeah. And then the next day I saw it on Facebook and I was like, yay.
Oh my gosh. How long had it been there before and this whole time I'm like, can't say anything. And it's been driving her mom crazy too because she was like, you're going to have to make that shareable so I can put it on my Facebook page so I can finally start talking about it.
Right.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Welcome
you.
To the Grandma Club.
We could be grandmas together now.
Yes.
And our grandkids
so
won't be that far apart.
Exactly.
Well, the babies won't be that far apart.
Yeah.
But even as they grow older, they're not going to be that far apart.
No.
They'll still be able
years.
to play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so fun. I can't wait.
And then next to find out boy or girl.
Oh, we should know that within a week, but sooner.
Yay.
I know.
So excited. But you also had some stuff happen right before Christmas.
Oh, yeah. My little mean bitch has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. Oh. It was heartbreaking. I still have a hard time with it. Like oh my God, the weirdest thing. I had a client come and I start telling her, like, when clients come, I share things with them because Spirit gives me things to share that connect us or will help them, or it's easier for Spirit to, anyway. I'm giving her like deep down emotional, like Allie and I, me and the boys, we haven't even talked about it because we don't want to cry. And as I'm telling her about the whole shadow thing, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting sad. It's heart-wrenching. But anyway, yeah, my shadow girl of 18, when I took her to the vet, did I tell you this? Mm-mm. First of all, the vet was amazing. I mean, they've seen her before. They've seen her at her feistiest. Like, they were like, I kept warning them, she's a mean bitch. Like, she's not going to let you touch her. And they're like, we've handled those before. We'll be fine. I'm like, no, you have not handled a shadow before. I'm like, I'm going to leave the room so you can have, I won't be influencing the energy. And you could hear her. It sounded like a crying baby. And then this isn't when she died, though. This is when, like, I would take her in. And they were like, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and give you the medication for the UTI. And, if she needs further work, we're going to have to, like, sedate her. But that didn't ever happen. She didn't have UTIs very often. Aww. Anyway, when I took her in, it was so sad because she was very, she definitely was hanging in for me. And I couldn't watch it any longer. So I took her. Connor went with me. They kept asking if we wanted more time with her. Right. And I'm like, no, you just need to just put her. I've spent 2 days saying goodbye to her. Just put her out of her misery. And so they gave her the sedation. And then they were like, okay, they handed her to me and she hissed. And that's the only energy she could muster. But then they gave her whatever medicine they give before they give the final medicine. And she was already, I'm like, I think she's gone, you guys. Like, that's not her. She's gone. And they're like, no, we haven't given her the medicine yet. And I'm like, yeah, I think she's gone. I just don't think she had the strength. She was waiting for me to, like, let her go. And I kept telling her she could go, but she still
was holding
on. But he was like doing these, they touch him in certain spots. And he's like, then he listened to her heart and he was like, she's gone.
So they didn't even sedate. They didn't even give her any.
Not the lethal.
Oh, wow.
They still charged me for it. But no, it didn't take that.
Oh.
Yeah, she was that, like, her little head resting in my neck it was just the sweetest thing. Because she was just so, like, you know when you're sick?
Yeah.
And you, like, your mom's hand or just cuddles, you know, when your kids were sick and you would they'd just cuddle on you. That's what she was just like, I just need you to let me rest my head on you.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was sweet though. But the vet was floored. Like, he's like 18 and a half years. He said, I've seen a very few cats that have done 20 years. He's like, but man, she looks good, even though she was very skinny and stuff, but her coat still looked good for being as old as she was. And I told him, I'm like, well, I don't give her like fancy food or anything. I just Costco. And he's like, that's the best food. I'm like, really? He's like, don't do any of that other Purina, which she was on, or Iams, he says, isn't good for them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They say that's not good for them. But he said Costco food is good for them.
Really?
I don't know why Iams.
Well, Shorty, we've been giving her Iams because she's been doing, she likes it and she's been doing good on it. Because the one we had all of them on is very high protein. And she gained so much weight while she was...
Maybe it's different, though. Maybe Iams for dogs versus Iams for cats. I don't know.
But the other dogs are still on the Victory. But
yeah, I mean, even my dog that I had for a gazillion years, she got like Costco, and I forget what she was getting before that. Like Costco food.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just need love.
I need love.
That's what makes them last forever.
I think so.
I know I would tell people, like, when are you going to die, you fucking bitch?
I know when you would say that, I'm like, oh my God.
But that's not, it wasn't, it was not
I
actual meaning it. Because she's my baby girl. And she was my cuddle buddy. She followed me around. She slept on top of me. So, I mean.
She was miserable for a while.
Yeah. She had like lost her mind.
Yeah.
And she was driving me crazy. I was probably driving her crazy. Seriously. Allie said to me, she goes, Mom, you can carry a conversation by yourself without anybody around. Nobody acknowledging you. You just go on. I'm like, I've been living here for years by myself. Usually it's me in spirit or me in shadow. Like Shadow didn't have to answer me back. I would just talk to her. And I'm like, I would always leave, like, I can leave you a message, have a full-on conversation and be like, yes, I can just sit here and have a conversation on your voicemail by myself. You don't have to interact with me. And I said, that's because, I mean, I kind of grew up with, I remember following my mom around, like, trying to tell her about my day at school. So I just kind of learned, like, I just got to talk to myself or talk to whoever will listen or not.
Right.
But Allie, I'm like, I talk to you because I don't talk to anybody all day long. And you come home and I'm like, oh, this happened and that happened. And you don't listen. So I just talk to Spirit or myself.
Aww. Well, and now you're going to take home our girl.
My little soul pup. She is my soul dog.
I know she is. She's always so freaking happy to see you.
I know, likewise. It'll be fun to have her, but I know, I am, like we just talked about, I am sad about, like, are you sure you want me to take her?
Yeah, I know. And like I said, I've gone back and forth in my feelings, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it'll be fine because you're family. It's the same thing when the boys took Chico and Louie. I mean,
do you want me to bring her when we do our podcast?
Yeah, we could do that too.
I mean, I think it would be nice. Then you get to still see her.
And they can play.
Yeah, it's like having a grand dog.
Yeah.
You see them, but you don't have all the work.
Yeah.
So you'll see her, but you don't have to deal with all the crazy that comes with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then she'll probably get all happy to see you like she does me because it's not like normal.
It'll be the reverse.
Yeah.
She'll be dragging you into the house after you get out of the truck.
She'll be like,
I know where I'm at.
This bitch talks to herself.
Help me.
She talks too much.
That's hilarious. Okay. I just want to make sure it's not too loud because I can see it like when we're recording.
Well, you could test it. I don't think
no. I can tell just by looking at it. It's loud. So.
To me, it sounds like it. When we first started recording, it sounded really loud.
Okay.
Blah, blah,
so
blah,
you guys
blah,
will
blah.
Notice a difference. Yeah. I'm sorry, but we're fine. So
Into
yeah,
the red
here we are.
Factory. Yeah, that's better.
Okay. All right.
Say factory.
Factory.
Well,
okay.
You put some emphasis on it.
Factory.
Oh, that's weird. And a man walked down the street and he said factory.
And
it's
a man
fine.
walked down the street and he said, "Fucking A."
What the fuck are you looking at?
All right, guys. Anyways, so, and COVID has seriously put a damper on so many plans just in the last few weeks.
Christmas, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Did you guys get to do anything?
No.
Oh.
Because two of my kids ended up with COVID days before Christmas. We were going to have, we weren't going to have a big thing. Yeah. It was going to be my brother, my sisters, and the kids. And, well, with them dropping like flies, I was like, you know what? And not only that, because I had been around her in the beginning of the week. I just didn't want to take the chance. So, and then New Year's, it kind of carried on into New Year's. And then we were supposed to do something with somebody this Friday. They have COVID. There was something else going on this coming weekend. That got canceled because of COVID. What else?
My nephew got it. He had to miss Christmas for the first time. It was sad.
Yeah.
Him and his wife. That was sad. And then one of my clients, everybody. It's just, I wonder if it's people. And then my daughter-in-law's family, most of them already had it, got it again. Mm-hmm. And they have been vaccinated and boosted. But I think that's why they weren't, not sure if they had it. So they only knew because they got tested. Mm-hmm. Because their symptoms weren't super bad.
Yeah, that kind of debunks a lot of people. They're like, oh, I already had it, so I'm not going to get it again. Yeah. I don't think it works that way.
Yeah. She thought she had it, and she might have had a mild case. But just because Christmas and everything, we were around people, she went and got tested. And the first test came out positive, and then one or two after came out negative.
I think it's this Omicron, the variant. Mm-hmm. It's super, super contagious. Mm-hmm.
It is definitely the worst. But thank goodness the symptoms
are not as bad.
Yeah. And
not for everybody.
Right. But if you've been vaccinated, you are going to have less symptoms, it seems like. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyways, so that's kind of how the year opened.
Oh, gosh.
Here we are going on year 3, literally. Because 2020, it was here about this time. We didn't even know it. And then 2021. Mm-hmm. 2021 and 2020 seem like one big long year.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, it does.
Even though 2020 by itself felt like 6 years. Mm-hmm. But looking back, it feels like 2020 and 2021 was all one big prolonged year.
Yeah. It does seem like it. It's kind of a wash. I need to make an eye appointment too.
Oh my gosh. I keep getting the texts from the place I go to because it's a year ago. So.
Well, for years.
I really need it.
Oh, I can't see. For years, I've been telling my kid, I gotta go get glasses. Real glasses. Not just my readers. I need glasses so I can, see when I'm driving. Yeah. I can see when I'm driving. It's just nice to see,
Do you have contacts?
No.
See, I have contacts.
I don't have anything.
And I have the readers. So I can't read up close with my contacts. I can see far out. But lately, in the last couple of months, all of a sudden, even that feels like kind of blurry.
Ooh.
And I don't know if it's like a medication thing because of the stuff. Like, I don't know.
It's weird when we hit a certain age, too. It's like our eyes are like, oh, we're this old?
Oh.
Boop. It's a super decline. Because that's what feels like happened to me. Like, I had perfect vision one day, and then all of a sudden I was like...
Squinting at everything.
What is happening? What is happening?
Well, I find myself, because I'm like wearing the readers all the time because I'm like working with like the designs and all that stuff. So I'm like constantly like with the readers on. So I think that they might be affecting everything.
That could be.
So who knows? Who knows? It's just that I'm old.
I just know I need to go too.
Anyways, the story we're going to do today.
That's all, folks.
Here we go. Here we go. It's Tipsy Tales, guys. By the way, I'm Alma.
I'm Carlene.
And we are Tipsy Tales. Hey, we have a little bit of true crime in this, but we're really not going to, like, go into detail.
But there's true crime.
Yeah, there is. So, this was your idea.
Spooky idea.
Spooky idea.
I better open up my... hold on. Security system. Remind me... Hopefully I can go back and find it. But on one of my security cam videos, you can hear, shh, here, she's coming.
What?
Not kidding.
I believe you.
Walking up. I can't remember if I was coming home from somewhere or if I was walking to check something in the backyard. I don't remember the situation, but I was coming. And I checked the video to check something, and I could hear the whisper like, shh, here she's coming, or something like that. So and creepy. It's just a whisper, but it's very clear. So I'll have to, I'm going to try and find it because it is freaky.
Yeah, you're going to have to send it to me. Although I find that I can't really record them to like share them.
That's so weird.
I know. Maybe you can do it from your phone onto Instagram.
Oh.
Since it's directly off of your...
We could try it and see.
Did you see my new mug?
That is so... You put all this on here too?
Yeah.
That's so
I haven't put it up on my Etsy store yet, but...
I love your mugs.
This is my first full wrap design, so I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do a mock-up for it. Okay. Anyways, so this story that we're doing is Shaker's Cigar Bar, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
It's a good one.
It is really good.
It is a good one.
It's super haunted. There is no doubt in my mind that it's haunted.
Yeah.
Here we go with the dogs.
It was so quiet for so long.
I know. What do you think of when you think of Milwaukee?
I mean, I think of beer.
I think of beer. I think of Laverne and Shirley.
Oh, yes.
And Happy Days.
Yes.
The Fonz, Pinky Tuscadero.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
I just dated myself. But yeah, they have a ton of breweries, and they also have a Major League Baseball team, the Brewers.
Well, there you go.
And then, until I really started doing the deep dive, like, I didn't associate it with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, well, why would you? Because I didn't know he was in Milwaukee.
Yeah, either. I didn't either.
Speaking of beer, I mean, I'm sure you're going to talk about it.
What?
That the bar, like when it first opened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you take the lead, as always. Okay. And then I'll chime in, as always.
All right. It's called Shaker's Cigar Bar. Of course, serves liquid spirits and sells the opportunity to commune with the otherworldly type of spirits. And when I say sells the opportunity, the owner has really leaned into the fact that it's haunted. A lot of places are like, oh yeah, it might be haunted.
It could be.
Yeah. But he has really like
embraced it.
And
he's created like the penthouse is like a Airbnb.
Yeah. That you can actually rent out
for like $350
if you're brave enough.
He says people don't make it. Like by 3:00 in the morning, people are bolting. They're done.
Yeah.
They don't stay the whole night.
He says 1 in 4 people will last through the night.
I would last.
I believe it. My only concern, because I was like, well, maybe one of these days. But my only concern would be, like, with places like that attracts the fucking weirdos. The people that go in there with Ouija boards and are really trying to, like...
Well, I think that's why a lot of these places end up having icky energy.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, but also, tell me where you're going to start.
Go ahead and say whatever. Like, we're just going to
what it's built on top of?
A cemetery.
So let's talk about when it first was built.
Right.
In 1894, right?
Yeah.
So...
But prior to that...
It was...
A cemetery.
A cemetery. And then on one side of, like, town, it was a cemetery, a tribal.
Right.
Cemetery. And then this side of town, where the bar is, was more just regular people, right? Not tribal members. I don't know how you say just regular people. Like, I don't know how you say it. Because it's not Native Americans.
Right.
It's not.
One side is Native and the other side was pretty much everybody else.
Yeah.
And it was a huge German community, so
and
Irish. I would assume that most of the people were.
And people couldn't afford, like, some people could afford to have their loved ones dug up and placed somewhere else, but many could not. So their loved ones just stayed put.
Yeah. So I guess when they made it was a Schlitz cooperage? Was it Schlitz?
Schlitz beer.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
It sounds like the shits.
Oh, Schlitz.
I've got the Schlitz.
Yeah, Schlitz beer had it as where they made, like, what was that?
The printer just turned on.
What's happening?
Maybe Albert's printing something from his phone.
Oh, I kind of wish we had...
That's what I'm going to hope. If it comes out with writing on it that says, I've got the Schlitz.
wait. If it's blank, you go look. It
has to be Albert.
I kind of wish we had film like we were recording right now. Albert? Okay. Woo! He should know better than do that to us.
Come on.
Okay, anyway... the barrels that they put the beer in, I guess.
Well, it's the huge. Have you ever seen pictures of like a brewery where they have the huge barrels where they
thought? Yeah, it's the big barrels that they.
Yeah.
Not like barrels that you make bourbon or wine or anything like that in. It's for beer.
Right.
How you make Schlitz beer.
The shit's beer. Truly.
Anyway, and then it was dormant for a while.
Right. Well, I guess at one point, it was like a place like a warehouse where they had coal and oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it was very brief.
Oh, okay. That one's interesting.
Yeah. It's located in the historic Walker's Point area of Milwaukee. It was sold in 1905 and used as a distribution center. Sold again, and so it was the distribution center for the coal and oil.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was sold again in 1922. The patina of coal and dust and oil was kept on the front windows, and the front door remained locked. And entry to the city's newest speakeasy was through the alleyway entrance, and I guess that's directly from the site.
Yeah, they the ones that bought it bricked up all the windows on the side and everything too.
Yep.
Who bought it?
The infamous Capone brothers.
Yes.
Al and Frank
Capone. Dun.
So, it was totally up and up after that.
It was a speakeasy and a brothel.
Yeah. Among other things.
Well, yeah. A gathering place for all those good.
Yeah. Like gambling and everything. They had gambling in the basement.
Yeah, and in the basement they also took care of other business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a nice little soundproof room down there, I'm going to guess.
Yeah. Guido took care of everybody there.
And then upstairs, the second and the third floor, that's where they had the brothel, where they had underage girls. And the third floor was actually the penthouse where they would have so they had the B girls.
Right.
Which were on the second floor. Third floor was the penthouse for the A girls.
Yeah, you want to be an A girl.
Yeah.
But an A girl has to be sponsored.
Right.
And sponsorship is you get basically a sugar daddy, somebody who's going to pay your rent. And once that happens, if he wants you, he gets you whenever he wants. But you also get to choose, from what I understand, you get to choose, like, I am not doing that stinky guy that just came over, hasn't bathed in weeks. And no.
Yeah, they get the choice. They just don't get the choice with the sponsor.
The sponsor can have and do whatever.
Yeah.
But the B girls, well, they don't get a say in anything.
No.
They have to take, and from what I understood, I saw when they were giving tours, they were saying
they have to take any old Dick and Harry,
but or Harry Dick,
stinky Harry Dick,
wait,
or fat mobster Dick.
Oh, yucky, with his cigar breath and. Now I don't know if this is true because I didn't do a deep dive into it. I just kind of heard it and was like, ew. But they were like, they tried to get as many men as they could, these girls, to turn them over as fast as possible.
Right.
And it's funny, when they said this, I was like, I mean, they probably allowed them to clean up because they wanted a good reputation. They didn't want, like, oh, I just went in and did a stinky hoe. But they said that they would have them turn over a new one like every 8 to 10 minutes or something like that.
What?
Yeah, like they had to do so many guys within an hour.
That's disgusting. I hope that's not true.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what she said when she was giving the tour.
That's pretty gross.
It kind of made me go, well, but I mean, if the guy was paying, like, hey, he only paid $5 and that was for 10 minutes and 10 minutes is what he got. But if he paid $20, that's a lot of money back then. That could be, he may have paid for an hour. No, I don't know. We don't know how it worked.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this is speculation.
It's gross.
But I don't know.
It's gross, especially knowing that a lot of these girls were young.
Yes, and
Super
they
young.
had a doctor in the building that did the abortions too.
Yeah.
Like he had his own little office in there, which you and I have done other stories where that was common back then.
The Comedy Store.
Yeah. That what was the restaurant that I did where like all the stars?
That's the Comedy Store.
Was that the Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put that place so separate from everything. I guess because it wooed me. I like the place. But yeah, so that wasn't uncommon, and that was also by gangsters. So they always like had a doctor. I mean, I'm sure that doctor did other things than just abortions.
Yeah,
Like
and they probably weren't, super professional at what they did.
No.
So there was probably a lot of deaths surrounding that.
Yeah, like infections. Not to mention those girls, if they're turning over that many guys, they were probably getting like syphilis and stuff too.
Oh, yeah. That's, yeah.
So icky.
So disgusting. So anyways, this place was, the legal name was known as the ABC Soda Company. That was pretending to be bottling innocent soda.
That's clever.
And they were really putting imported booze from Canada. Of course, this is all during Prohibition. Imported booze from Canada brought over like Michigan in beer barrels. So, and like I said, they were doing the speakeasy. They were doing gambling downstairs, the prostitution upstairs. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and Bob Weiss, is that how you say his name?
That's the owner.
When he gives tours or talks about it or whatever, he also, there was one where he starts outside and he's talking about how like the windows got bricked up. And this makes sense because this is how so just like if you go to a speakeasy now, they do it as the fun part, but this is how it was back then. You go, you knock, there's either a special knock and then you have to give a special code word. And there's a big burly guy at the door that's like going to let you in or not. And also depending on who you were and what you look like would let you in or not. How much money you had would let you in or not. And usually they were armed with a weapon. There's a really good speakeasy in New Mexico. I wish I could remember the name of it. It is so much fun, but you really think you're back in time when you go there.
Really?
So cool. Yeah,
we
you
have
to
a few
get
here.
them. Yeah, I know. I've been wanting to go. We should go.
Yeah.
The kids, I think, have gone where you have to do the whole secret. You have to find the secret door and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this one looks like it's just in a strip mall. And then you get to the door and they do the whole, like, what's the code word? And you have to tell them what the phrase is or whatever. It's really fun. And the guy has a pretend machine gun. So anyway, shit, it's a steakhouse. I'll have to remember so that anybody in New Mexico who listens to us can go there. It's not cheap, but it's delicious.
And I'm sure fun.
It's so fun. And it's like a piano bar too and stuff. Anyway, he said that if you were declined to come in, there were always like other people, other bad guys, that were waiting for the ones that got declined, and then they would like rob them.
Oh,
because they knew they were showing up with money,
right.
so they'd go to the whorehouse.
Well, that's pretty opportunistic.
Yeah, and it makes sense though.
Yeah. The brothel was actually active until 1945.
That is so crazy.
I know.
It's so recent.
Yeah. Well, recent, but
I mean, it seems recent
yeah.
to me. Although it was 70, something years ago. So that's when my mom was born.
All right. So then in between it was different bars that catered to the whole warehouse district.
Yeah.
And then in 1984 or 86, like one site said it 84, but I heard him say 86.
And I heard him say, at one point, whatever I was watching, he said 84, and then the whole rest of the time he said 86.
So maybe he bought it in 84, and it took him a couple years to renovate it.
Yeah, because he bought it with his now ex-wife or partner. It was his wife, I think. And then now he's the sole owner, I believe. But yeah, it was. Let's just say 1986 to me.
Yeah. So he said pretty much from the get-go that the contractors were experiencing things, and when he opened, like the employees were experiencing things. So he definitely leaned into it pretty hard from there.
Yeah.
So when he started renovating the third floor or penthouse, they found remains of a female skeleton, and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can because it ends with him. We can't get into it.
Yeah, see, I was confused about that body because that's why I looked at you.
Yeah, because we were talking about it, yeah.
Well, because there's that body. I heard them mention that one. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know if that was the female one because there's also the one that was in the shack. Then they called the FBI, and then they had the bones looked at. Some were animal bones that they have found.
Right.
And then there's others that are human remains that they don't know who it was. And then there was one that
they never dug up because it wasn't worth.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. And then there was the one that it matches the age and the time of
this prostitute. Yeah, I guess we can talk about her. Let's just talk about her.
She means she's like supposedly the most active, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's the one that people talk about the most.
Yeah. And her name was Molly Brennan.
We should tell the story and then we could say her and then the two other characters are the most active.
Yeah. So in one story I heard that she had a friend.
A childhood friend
named Patrick.
Yeah.
And his father actually was her sponsor.
Yeah. But it was kind of like he was trying to help her out, supposedly.
Yeah. So I want to see if we heard the same story.
Okay, I'll tell you the story I heard.
Okay.
I heard she left home because things weren't so good. And then it turned out they said that she ended up having there was actual records that show she had an abortion when she got there. Mm-hmm. And they said her own dad got her pregnant. So they were like, that's why she left. And it took them a while to come up because before they were telling a story different, that she just ran away. He was trying to get her to go back home. They didn't really know why she just wanted her independence or whatever. But then they were able to put these pieces together that made more sense. Oh, she left a bad life.
Right.
Like, dangerous for herself. And then this guy.
Patrick.
No, what was the dad's name?
Oh, I didn't get his name.
I think I have it. Anyway, Patrick Harvey's dad.
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter. He he came in and was like, you need to leave this life. Like, this is bad. You need to go back home. But then another story says Patrick was the one that came and told her he would come and visit her and then was like, you need to leave this life. So I'm confused there.
Yeah.
But anyway, then the dad was like, somehow he ended up being her sponsor so that she could have it better and easier. But being a sponsor means he can have her whenever he wants her. And so then...
And he took full advantage, apparently.
Yeah, he did.
And Patrick shows up.
Yeah, so Patrick, I guess, it sounds like Patrick didn't know about this. And then Patrick was coming over and, like, he'd still come and visit and then kind of finds out, because he fell in love with her, it sounds like, the story. And at the beginning, it didn't sound like he was getting a piece of her. It sounded like he respected her. But then some stories... It's like the dad and him were both getting some of her. And then there was some jealousy.
Well, he comes in, finds the dad.
Oh, yeah. Comes in and finds the dad and her
and goes
together.
into a rage.
Yes.
And basically...
strangles her.
Strangles her.
And what happened to the dad, though?
Well, the last story I read was like that the dad hightails it out of there because like the son is so like incensed about it. Dad hightails it out of there. I don't know if he goes into a rage when the dad's there and he kills her.
Or if it's
and the dad's like, fuck, this is one of Capone's girls.
Oh, you know what I heard? Well, because then Sam is the doorman that let Patrick in.
Right.
So he goes and gets Sam and is like, hey, I just did this. And he's like, fuck, that's like one of Capone's girls. And if he finds out that I let you in and you did this, shit, now I have to help you clean up this shitstorm.
Hack her to pieces in the bathtub. Burn her bones in the fireplace. Yes. And apparently bury her somewhere in the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't carry her downstairs past all of Capone's guards.
So it makes sense if she's the one in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so the way I understood it is that it was the patio area, like the floorboards, something. I have no idea.
Yeah. She was not in cement, but she's... What it sounds like is when they were renovating, they pulled up the floorboards. And I heard that it was in the back, there's a whole shack, and he was actually just getting rid of it. So he was knocking it down, pulling up the floorboards or whatever, and that's where he found many bones.
Right.
And then he called an FBI guy and some of the Milwaukee police department guys, and then they examined the bones. Some were just animal bones. They were like, whatever, cold case, they don't care.
It sounds like they're his buddies, like, because I guess this place is like frequented by a lot of judges, cops. Yeah, so he's made friends.
And so he found out that some of the bones matched a female that died. It would have been about the time frame.
Right.
And so
same
he was
age,
like,
right. Yeah.
Everything. So that's where they're like, this has to be this chick. And then if you watch, like Paranormal Files did their YouTube, their ghost hunt there. And this guy, Colin, his dad and mom snuck away and were doing a little session with the spirit box, and they were hearing details like burned, things that match. Like Molly was there trying to tell them about what happened to her.
Right.
Choked.
Like right on.
Yeah. But they didn't know anything about Molly at this time. So they were like, yeah, my throat I was choking from all the cigar smoke. So that's crazy, and it's like they had no idea she was telling them about what happened to her.
Right. That's crazy.
Pretty amazing. So yeah, I believe that one for sure.
Yeah. So apparently she haunts the penthouse, and she likes to make her presence known. So if you're like...
Oh, Harvey. Oh, no, it's Patrick Harvey. Never mind. I got excited.
Yeah, so apparently Capone's goons or associates or somebody get a hold of him at some point.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So he doesn't meet a very good end. He's probably wearing cement shoes somewhere.
Yeah. Sam dies too.
Yeah.
So they say Sam, Patrick, and Molly all haunt, which they did come through during some of people's EVPs or spirit box sessions and stuff. So maybe.
Yeah. Among many, many other.
Yeah. Like in that same Paranormal Files, there was the girls that give the tours were like, yeah, people will get on spirit boxes. The name Adam comes up a lot. The name Dan comes up. And sure as shit, Adam and Dan, they kept saying.
So among other things, the fact that it's built on a cemetery where a lot of people's remains remained even when they built the place. And none of the original furnishings are in the building. So they've like taken things from a lot of places close by.
So they could have attachments.
Yeah.
That could be. So
you want to talk about the basement?
Oh, the basement has so many. Like, did you see this one? It's a short YouTube blip, and it's this couple that they just set their camera up, and there is just, I don't want to be called an orb when I'm that, but I would just call me energy or something. But they're orbs flying everywhere. It's not dust. It's very apparent. They're orbs, and they are on a mission to go somewhere. Right. And then you see all of a sudden they're done. It just stops. You see like one or two, but they all were going.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It would look like my house. Like when there's so many that come, it's insane.
I was reading that when mediums go down there, the general consensus is not good.
Yeah, they get the willies when they go down there. Yeah. Like they shouldn't be there. Yeah. Nobody should be there. Yeah. Yeah. They were doing an interview. Did you see this one? With this blonde woman who's a medium. And I just wanted her to talk. Like, they're trying to get her to say, like, what do you feel down here? It was the news station. So one of the news outlets down there did like a series around Halloween time or something. And they're interviewing her, and she's just like, what?
Was that on your phone?
No. Could you try again? Is that your phone? No, mine's not doing anything. It's like Siri or something. It's that thing that lit up.
Did it?
Mm-hmm. It lit up.
Because usually it'll stay on when it's...
Didn't that one go off before when we were in here?
Yeah, but it stays on when it asks the question. There's no...
Anyway, the segment wasn't very long with her because they couldn't get her to like... She was just like, I just get very uncomfortable. Like, I shouldn't be down here.
And that was it?
Yeah,
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, like, I would be telling you, like, oh, I get the chills. It feels like, the hair on my neck is standing up or whatever.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was annoying. So annoying. But they also had mini mediums. Do you want to talk about the little girl?
Oh, wait. No, I'm still in the basement.
Oh, okay. Finish the basement.
So there's a safe down there.
Oh, yes.
That moves on its own.
And they also have the skeleton bones because so many people have been buried down there that they get so much stuff. They put those bones down there.
But the safe is like, have you seen pictures? It's heavy.
It's like a 500-pound or ton or whatever old safe that was there before before even Capone was there.
Right.
They don't know. And the mediums that go down there say, don't even try and open it. There's something not good in there. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They're like, don't even open it.
Well, I guess 2 Confederate soldiers have been like I don't know if their apparitions have been seen or they've gotten EVPs, but they've been
apparitions and EVPs.
Oh.
But apparitions for sure.
And they're associated with the safe.
Oh, really?
Itself. Yeah. Ooh. So I think they're attached to the safe. So I wonder what's in it now. And
nobody can open it. They've had people, there was a guy who that's what he did.
Yeah.
And he would come, he said every Thursday, because that was his day off, and he would come for like 52 weeks, for a year, and try and open the safe, and he couldn't crack it. Nobody has been able to open that safe.
That's just crazy.
And they don't want to damage it, so they're like, and then with mediums.
But the fact that it moves by itself, I'm sure if it wanted to open, it would fucking open.
Yeah. And they say, like, they have CCTV cameras down there, so they only see CCTV. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they only see, they don't catch it on those. It'll get like weird. They only know that it's moved because of the scratch marks on the ground and that it's actually moved. But that they're like, how are we not catching it?
Yeah,
being moved.
That's crazy.
Oh,
so jinx.
Oh, see, it's on.
Well, because I left it on.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Here, it's on.
I'm watching it now because it was lit up.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Because we didn't even say anything that sounded like Siri or anything like, did we?
Yeah, no. We'll hear it. Has to be heard in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? Beer delivery folks, some federal officers have picked up on heavy negative energy that gives off a strong, uncomfortable feeling of not being wanted. The federal officers and police officers like to come to Shakers. 2 federal officers pulled their guns when going down the steps to the basement for some reason, feeling the dense energy.
Ooh.
And when beer delivery man came to drop off the beer in the basement and collected the empty bottles in the basement, he became scared and hightailed it back up the steps after delivering the beer.
Ooh.
There's a man in overalls or suspenders that's been seen down there. So there is a story about mob killings that happened down there.
Yeah, I didn't hear like details of it, so go ahead if you've got some.
Okay, so what I wrote down here wasn't what I actually heard on one, but it sounds pretty much like it. Apparently, there were 2 mob killings that may have taken place in the basement. There's a 7-foot by 3-foot rectangle in the foundation of the building that most assume is a final resting place of a murder victim.
Is that where they have the 2 skeletons laying down? Okay.
It may have been over a card game. Okay. Oh, people get their hair pulled or pushed or shoved. And then...
Is that where they feel like they're like pressure on their chest too?
Yeah.
In there?
Says at one point the owner had someone come in with ground penetrating radar. They could see discrepancies under the concrete, but most of it was far too deep to tell what it was. He came across 2 full sets of human remains sort of huddled up next to each other. They reported this to the MPD, who said because they were so old, they didn't match with any open cases. They didn't have to dig them up.
That's insane. So,
unless Bob really wanted them to. So they decided to let them be, and those remains are still under the concrete in the corner to this day. Today, there are 2 plastic skeletons laying on top of the spot where the bodies are down below.
And they put, like, again, Paranormal Files, those, to me, were the most credible ones, because they were, they put their REM pods there, and a lot of times those don't go off on their investigations. They don't always go off, and they were going off. It was going off like crazy upstairs and in the basement by those skeletons.
There was somebody's, when I was like looking for different websites, it was just like somebody's little like personal blog almost. But they took a whole bunch of pictures. They were in the penthouse all the way down to the basement. And in the basement, there's like a hole in the ground. In that hole in the ground, there's these crazy orbs. You could see almost smiley faces. She says nothing about it in the blog. She just mentions there's actually orbs in some of the pictures. Like she just said that, but I freaking blew those pictures up. Yeah, they were creepy. I'll have to show them to you.
Speaking of that, I definitely want to see it because I like seeing that kind of stuff. When the news went and they were like, people see stuff in this mirror and people see stuff in this mirror, and they're like, and we didn't realize we caught anything until later when we were looking at our photos. Well, I took pictures of it. I can't see anything. I'll show you and you can tell me. I mean, I can make something up. Like, it's kind of like when we hear the and they'll be like, oh, it said they want a McDonald's.
It's like matrixing.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm like, well, I can say I mean, I guess, but it's not like you clearly are like, holy shit, that's a face right there.
Right.
Somebody's standing behind them.
It's like you could put it together. Your eyes can put it together and be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I think that's like, a face.
Have you ever looked at the moon and went, oh, man, there's like, that's a face looking back at us or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah, it's so crazy. Okay, but hold on. I was going to show you the picture. Look. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. I just got to do this right now, but maybe we can post this. Do you see anything in that circle?
Yeah.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Off to the...
I see something right here.
Where?
Like a Phantom of the Opera, and then there's something right here.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's what I saw. Motherfucker. She did it again. But yeah, this is what I saw was this. Which could very easily be just lighting. Or it could actually be some... Okay, do you see anything in this one?
I see a little troll looking at her.
No, that's not it.
Well, that's all I see. The other one, I saw something right away.
Right, but I think whatever they're talking about is supposed to be something in here, but I'm not sure. I mean, again, I can make it something up. I mean, yeah. I think that's just furniture or something, so I don't know what they're talking about because I don't see anything. I think, oh, that is a troll. I think that's just something sitting on the shelf, though.
Kind of looks like Bob Weiss.
It does. Nothing against Bob Weiss, but it does look like him. But he's actually right here. That's funny. All right. So anyway, sorry. So the basement. Yeah, that's crazy stuff with the bodies in the basement. And that Confederate soldier, I guess he shows himself pretty often too.
Yeah.
Like he's not shy. Oh, and when they're upstairs, again, sorry, I meant to say this about Molly. Like Bob Weiss has stayed there, but people, even Paranormal Files, when they stayed, you could hear like stilettos walking.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
floor.
I do have that in here somewhere. I'm like, there was something else about the, it was a card game. Like it was a fight over cheating or whatever.
Oh, how the two people supposedly died?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, there's that. Okay, so I guess we can go to the main floor, and pretty much the whole main floor is haunted by different things, but the biggest one is in the women's bathroom.
Yes.
And that's supposed to be a little girl. That predates the actual building, right?
Yeah, like, first of all, this little girl has been coming around, and then mediums have come and said, oh, her name is Elizabeth, and she fell out of an apple tree when she was
bumped her head.
She broke her neck.
Yeah.
Broke her neck and died. And okay, so what doesn't make sense, and this is like, I don't know if the rest of you know this, but when I'm watching these things, a lot of times Spirit is talking to me through the TV. Okay.
That sounds crazy, Carlene.
Does. But when people are doing like their their spirit box sessions, I'll hear like they're not talking to some random spirit. They're like, this one time this woman Patty was talking to, having spirit box, and I kept going, Eric isn't a random spirit, that's her son. Oh, I'm gonna freak out if that's her son. And then all of a sudden she's like, my son's name was Eric. And I'm like, that's your son. I didn't know her son died. How would I know that?
Right.
And then it comes to find out I'm just hearing the conversations through the TV.
Right.
I'm hearing spirits conversations through the TV is all that's happening. It's not like they're communicating with me. But anyway, what they've said is that happened to the little girl, and then she now just haunts the bathroom and like throws toys out into the bar area, and you see her
shoes, her 19th century shoes underneath the door stall. They'll
say they're like little saddle shoes, but did they even have those in the 1800s?
I don't know. I'm not gonna. How can we? They say they're the little 19th century shoes. They look like very dated shoes.
And then they say that they have the photo of her hanging up. But why would you have that? If she was just some random little girl that was... Where would you get that photo?
Well, okay, so what I heard was, and what I read was, it was first found when it was a cooperage. The photos were there, and they put actually did put the photos up because it was in that same time frame, so they put them up as like a dedication to her.
But then the photos kept getting knocked down
or
put back into the basement, like spirit was moving him out.
Really? Mm-hmm. When it was the cooperage?
I don't know.
I'm talking about the cooperage part. So they put up the photos as a dedication to her. And then all these years later, in the 80s, when Bob finds the place, that little thing of photographs came with the building. Mm-hmm. So they decided to put it in the bathroom. At this point, they don't know anything about Elizabeth. So I guess they started piecing it together.
I think that's when Bob started putting the photos in the bathroom. And then somewhere in his stories, he says the photos were coming off the wall, or they were ending up back in the basement, or they were being moved by spirit.
Right.
And then these mediums were saying, that's Elizabeth. And I'm like, well then, because she wants to be noticed.
Right.
So she probably wouldn't move the photos.
Or maybe she doesn't want to be in the bathroom.
Yeah. Maybe
she's
she
like,
doesn't want to
I don't want to listen to these drunk bitches peeing.
Why do you keep putting me in the bathroom?
Well, and they say that, like, when people open, they come in and find it on the bar, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They'll find and they'll just go put it back in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah. And
she obviously does not want her pictures, whether it's Elizabeth or not. Whoever is attached to these
they don't
photographs.
want it. They don't want the photos in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I mean, they say she's not facetious. She just plays. She's playful. She will lock the stall, or you'll hear giggling, or she likes to watch where you're putting on your lipstick, or
I mean, if she's an 8-year-old girl, why does she want to be in the bathroom that smells like the Schlitz?
Women puking after they've been drinking.
Yeah. Probably doing blow. Yeah. Whatever. Whatever happens or has happened.
Right.
Since, it's been the 80s. Come on. We know what happened in the 80s.
If she's throwing her toys, they said they had a piano just outside the bathroom, and she would go and play that. And then they got rid of the piano because
it was disturbing to...
I'm like... Well,
patrons.
That's probably her only freedom outside the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel sorry for her little spirit.
Just take her picture out of the bathroom.
Yeah. And her throwing her toys out of the bathroom and into the bar area. She's like, I want to play with you. Not in the bathroom. I wouldn't want to reside in the bathroom.
Come and send her to the light.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah. I mean, presuming that she's
if it's
earthbound.
Yeah. And if it's really a little girl.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I didn't stick on that one too much because I didn't know how much of the story I believed.
Oh, okay. But just in her in general.
Mm-hmm.
That whole...
No, yeah. Just the little girl.
Right.
I definitely believe a lot of the stories, and I believe that place is haunted as fuck.
Well, okay, so some of the things that happen in the bathroom, people have heard the voice of a little girl, or the faucet will randomly turn on.
Yeah.
There's a particular stall door she likes to open, even when it's occupied by the living, just trying to take a piss.
Yeah.
People have even seen her old-timey shoes under the stall door, which would... Come on, that's fucking creepy.
That is creepy. I even me, who loves that shit, wouldn't want... And see that.
I never think it's funny when somebody tries to open the door.
No, that would piss me off.
If a ghost could unlock the door and open it, that would really piss me off. Right.
And knocking on doors and locking them, like I said.
Yeah. Yep. Knocking.
And some have seen her locking and knocking. And some have seen her apparition, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, getting back to Molly.
Oh.
Did we talk?
On.
Oh.
The bartender says she has heard her name be called. One followed her. Oh, that's just about ghosts in general. She said one followed her home and flickered her lights and turned on water and made noises.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you going to say?
Oh.
About
Did
Molly.
we talk about Molly? About her moving shoes? She has a thing for shoes.
She has to put them in the sink.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah.
That's
maybe
weird.
She's like, you're in here with your dirty ass shoes.
Yeah.
In my apartment, whatever.
Yeah, could be.
I don't know. And people hear her crying. They've heard screams of terror.
penthouse. I don't know where it was, but somebody has an EVP of a very clear scream. Oof. They didn't even know they caught it. Like, they're just talking, and all of a sudden you hear...
We'll have to find that one. See if we can share it.
Yeah.
Okay. Other figures that people see. One is described as a man in a bowler hat. Maybe Patrick. Another entity is reportedly...
that was not EVP.
is reportedly a small boy known as Charlie.
Oh.
People have seen full-body apparitions. One of a black figure that is over 8 feet tall. That's creepy to me. I don't like those.
No. Was somebody talking about that in the basement, like in the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. People have felt drastic drops in temperature and mists hover over people's heads.
Yeah, like they were getting... I mean, in my house, when there's a lot of spirit energy, it gets really cold. So, like, especially, like, the longer I've been working, the colder it gets. But they were getting pretty cold.
Disembodied voices are heard both audibly and recorded via EVP, which you pretty much said.
Yeah.
Along with strange knocking throughout the building. Doors will open and close. Faucets and lights turn on and off with no human intervention.
Ooh, also in Molly's room, they caught this. I believe Paranormal Files caught this on video of where it would sound like a door, something slammed, and then there wasn't a door that got slammed. I don't know where it was, but that shit did happen. Ugh. Like, nothing was slammed, but it sounded like it.
Yeah, there was one I was reading about. It was one of the employees that she said when she would go down in the basement, she would get the total creeps, and there's like a back room with a door that's locked from the outside. Ooh. And it was kind of like jiggling? Like somebody's trying to get from the...
That's scary.
Now it has a crack down the middle of it.
Ooh.
Out of nowhere.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Like, I don't... Oh, remind me, I have to dream when we start talking about the other connection.
Okay. We're about to start. Let's talk about the other connection.
Okay,
so we did start talking about Jeffrey Dahmer in the beginning.
Did we?
Well, we mentioned that
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they do these tours. Women are oddly attracted to serial killers, evidently, because it's a lot of women that do these tours, that go on these tours.
They have multiple tours. You can go onto their website and there's like different tours, but this one's called the Cream City Cannibal Tour.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
And they will take you to like, this is where Jeffrey Dahmer did this, and this is where he did that. And he
I don't know how I feel about that.
Listen, anything that gives them attention, and they're,
And they actually, like, I was watching something where they actually supposedly pick up on him. Mm-hmm. Like, they were doing the dowsing rods, and they're like, is Jeffrey Dahmer here? And the dowsing rods close in. Like, I'm just like, okay.
No.
I don't know about that.
Anything that keeps him around is, Okay, but I don't know if it's because I was doing all this research on this and watching so many things, and I actually didn't want to focus a lot on that. So I wasn't listening to a lot of podcasts about him and his crime spree, but maybe I listened to just enough, because the night that I did the day that I did the most watching about that, and I had happened along some other paranormal stuff that I was like getting sucked into. That night, I usually don't dream. Well, that I remember.
Right.
That night I had 3 very vivid dreams. And the last one was like, I'm in a car, we're driving, and then like I'm cutting something all of a sudden with like, why are you cutting like chicken with an X-Acto knife in a car? What? But it wasn't chicken, it was like flesh. No. And I was getting grossed out by cutting it, because I don't want to cut chicken either, but I was getting grossed out. And then I realized, so like as I'm like analyzing this dream, because I don't typically remember these things, I was like, that was more like that would make sense why I was so grossed out, because it was like, ugh! I was cutting flesh because it was thick. It was,
oh my God.
It was like I was skinning something, like skinning the pig or whatever. But anyway, I later was telling Allie, like, I had all these weird dreams. And I think it's because of this shit. because I was listening to that, which doesn't typically happen, but something affected me. It was gross.
Did you watch that episode of The Dark Tourist before or after the dream?
Oh, before.
Okay.
Maybe
because
that's it.
when they go see the prosecutor.
Yes. Wasn't that crazy?
Or was it the lawyer?
It was his lawyer.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And where she like goes into detail about like how he prepared, like how do you... I was like,
Oh my God, that makes perfect sense. Because he actually talked about how she's like, you really ate
human flesh.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah. And she said, how did you eat it? How did you prepare it?
And he's like, I went and got a meat tenderizer and made it like you would make any cut of meat.
That makes 100% sense. Like, I somehow was grossed out enough. And like, because I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
So if you tell me that, I'm picturing you.
So when you're telling me your dream, all I'm thinking about, because I just watched that this morning.
Yeah. Okay. So I stored it.
Ugh.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, I did not like that.
No, and thank you, because I was wigging out about this dream. It was very gross. It was so disgusting.
Yeah.
And it jolted me.
Yeah, and the fact that they do this tour, and it's actually, Bob Weiss actually has a tour company called the Hangman's Tour.
Oh, yeah. He actually
and that's
tours.
one of the tours that they have.
He actually helps other people, like in New Orleans and stuff like that. Dude,
Put stuff together.
He's really good at it.
Yeah.
He's very good at
marketing.
telling stories. And
he's kind of a marketing genius if you really think about it.
He is.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I was actually listening to another podcast, and it was like just like a young kid podcaster, it sounded like, and he was very generous. He's like, just come and visit us, we'll put you up in the penthouse, and you can, and the kid's like totally taken back by it.
Yeah. Like, really?
Yeah.
I think he just wants to
share it.
You know how excited I get? Like, I'm like, let me show you, this is amazing. I think that's how Bob is. He's just very excited for everybody to experience what he experiences.
Yeah.
But and I appreciate that. He also makes some dough on it. But I wonder if he's charging that guy when he invites you. Is he gonna charge you? Like Paranormal Files?
No, it sounded like he said on me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because it did seem very generous that he was like, just come on, just let's schedule it. And you could go on one of the tours and stay in the penthouse if you dare. If you do get a chance to watch the Netflix special.
The Dark Tourist.
Whatever, Dark Tourist. Yeah. Go ahead.
So this guy's from
like... He kind of makes fun of stuff, though.
Yeah. Because he's kind of like diving into the whole thing, this whole dark tourism thing, where that, especially like that, where all these women are attracted to this whole...
He actually gets with another woman who's super into it, and she tries to play off like, yeah, it is so weird. Yeah. It's like, come on, girl, you're into it. Like, why are you all so fascinated by this?
I mean, not too long ago, we were actually doing a lot of the true crime.
Right, but
I think it's part of the same niche, though. Like the whole fascination with true crime. Yeah. But like you were listening to some of these women in the tour talking about it.
Like they're infatuated with him, though. It's not like they're just interested in the story and like what drives somebody to be that way, and the psychology behind it. Which if I'm gonna, even when we would do our stories, we analyze them. Yeah. These people, this is why Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
So, you know who I sound like?
Huh.
Have you watched, do you have Apple TV?
Yeah.
Have you watched Ted Lasso?
No.
He does this all the time where he gets stuck on a word and they call it something, but I do this all like blah, blah, blah. And the kids are always saying I remind them of Ted Bundy. All right. I remember Ted Bundy, Ted Lasso, Ted Bundy. But anyway, no, that would be disturbing. But... These women
you're dreaming of chopping up chicken. That's actually
flesh. These women are very attracted to these men. First, some think they're they are attracted to these psychos.
Yeah,
it's just so bizarre.
Well, and this guy's like, you guys watch it.
Yeah, it's worth.
You guys watch
it. I was kind of like, but I watched the whole thing.
The guy goes all over the world. In this one episode, he focuses on like 3 different places in America, and that was actually one of them. So
I think it's like episode 3 or something.
Yeah. They do Dallas, JFK, the whole JFK thing.
Oh, that was kind of weird too.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah.
I never ever heard of it. And when I was researching this, I saw it and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. Albert left somewhere earlier and I was like, click.
Yeah. I did the same thing.
Anyways, the bar was also used as a backdrop in scenes in the Dillinger movie from the 90s.
Oh, right. Warner Brothers did some movies.
Yeah, it starred Mark Harmon. I was digging for it. When they said Dillinger movie, I thought it was the other movie, Public Enemies with Johnny Depp. And then I was like, okay, that wasn't it. And so I started looking back. I was like, that wasn't in the 90s. So, but yeah, it was, and it was a made-for-TV movie. It wasn't.
What?
It was probably one of those Sunday nights, Saturday night special things.
I still kind of want to watch it now.
Yeah. So another famous Wisconsin serial killer is Ed Gein, who also had a weird penchant for flesh in a different way.
Oh.
We've done Ed Gein. I think it wasn't you and I.
Oh, Yvette.
It was me and it. But that one's a weird one. A little sidebar.
Hey. Sidebar again, though. The Emmett, is that who we did? Is that his name? Emmett? The little boy?
Emmett Till?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And now they're doing the little miniseries.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to mention that because I haven't brought myself to watch it yet.
No,
because it's so heart-wrenching.
it is.
I get really into that stuff, so I gotta be like mentally in it. I don't want to be sad.
Yeah.
And that shit hasn't gone away.
No.
It still happens.
Oh, God.
All right. So anyway, that was his little sidebar.
So if you want to go visit Shakers, it's in Milwaukee. You can check out their website. They have a really good list of drinks.
Yeah.
Apparently their absinthe drinks are pretty popular.
They don't suggest he makes it very clear. It is not like a booze tour.
Right.
Like you don't go and get wasted and then go on one of their ghost tours. That's not what it's about.
Right.
But you can drink there and enjoy their drinks.
And then go on a ghost tour.
Go on the ghost tour and then go get tipsy.
Right.
And listen to Tipsy Tales.
Yeah.
I forgot my baby girl was in here.
And he says that he's not like real woo-woo with it.
No,
like there's not like things that people that jump out of the walls or anything. It's like you go into the basement and it's this freaking dank. It's not like he's fixed it up for the tour or anything. It's just a basement.
Yeah. He just, everything's the way it was. Hi.
She's like, hello.
I'm awake now. Oh, she's sick.
And she always wants to give you a big hug. She missed you. She's like, take me home now.
Do you want to go home with me? What are you looking at?
She's like a little lizard. She's like,
with her tongue. Oh, gee, my baby girl.
So that was pretty much it.
I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
Good story. It sounds like it's really haunted. They also do an exclusive 3-hour investigation from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. It's a ghost hunting tour.
Ooh.
It's called Ghost Hunting 3.0. And it's 3 hours, led by Shaker's tour guide to set the stage on the historical, spiritual elements of the building and to learn about many mysterious tales from those who have lived and died here. Includes access to ghost hunting equipment, such as digital recorders for capturing EVPs, infrared thermometers, EMF detectors, divination rods, and more. The maximum group is 10.
That would be so much fun. I wish we were able to just go like, we're going to go.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, you know what though? If people like this podcast, they can like, subscribe, comment, do all those fun things. Because I now know why people are always saying to do that. Because it actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
So like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, share, blah, blah, blah. All those wonderful things. Because it helps us.
It does help us.
And it doesn't cost anything for you to do that.
Yeah, you guys, let us know. Let us know that you like what we're doing. Maybe
if we get enough people to do those wonderful things, eventually we could start making some money.
Yeah, money.
And
because,
another way,
podcasting is not cheap.
No. And it'd be nice if we could make some money that we could go on these amazing adventures.
Exactly. And if you feel like it, send us an email. Tipsy Tales Podcast at yahoo.com. Let us know what you think of the podcasts. If you have any stories. Hey, if you've been to Shaker's Cigar Bar and you want us to read your story, you had a cool paranormal experience there, we'd love to hear it, and we'd love to read it on our next podcast episode.
There's always, what is the name of that? Where people can give us a little tip.
Ko-fi.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like saying, hey, Alma, Carlene, we really appreciated and liked your story. So here's
$5. Yeah. And we also still have our Patreon out there, which I haven't given much love or attention for months, unfortunately.
But we will if people want to start contributing to it.
Oh my God.
Hey, I have no shame in that game. I just want to keep doing this. So, and we get a lot of people really enjoy it. So show us.
If you can.
If you can. You can. It doesn't cost anything to push like and share.
Yeah.
And comment.
Definitely.
It doesn't cost anything to say, we're 5 stars.
Hey, we're on YouTube too. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
This will be our first episode for 2022. Mm-hmm. What a start. We're sober AF.
Yeah, and Carlene's begging for money. No shame, Carlene.
Oh my God.
Thanks for listening to us.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.
Oh, wait. Did I tell you that one of my clients...
Every time we're about to close out.
I know. I'm sorry. I just want to give her some acknowledgement.
Oh, okay. Yes. Kudos.
Yeah. So, oh my God. Let me just look and make sure because...
Have we mentioned that we have dementia?
Yeah. It was Jenny, and she was like, she really enjoys listening to us. And then she was like, she really liked when we went to Vulture City and wants us to do more of those. So I said, I am going to say that you recommended that. It's on our bucket list. Mm-hmm. She wants us to go to Jerome and Tombstone. So I think we can
definitely do Jerome again this time.
Yeah, I told her we went to Jerome, but we didn't
It wasn't that.
We didn't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of prostitution was a huge theme there.
Yeah. And obviously, I felt something at the hotel there.
Is that your phone or mine?
It's not mine.
That's weird.
Yeah, we're having some weird stuff with that thing. We need to start filming again.
There's nothing on the screen.
I know, but she was talking.
Usually when she's talking, the whole thing lights up and you could see it's so weird. Anyways. All right, guys. I'm Alma.
Okay, I'm Carlene. Yeah, she started the new year with knowing her name.
Yep. I know my name.
Oh, my.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a good night.
Good night.